Here we have the Selaginella or spike moss. Some people also call it a club moss. This is a super cool plant, and it's actually the only plant in its family. The Selaginella is, which is pretty cool if you ask me. But anyway, let's get into the care instructions for this guy. First of all, let's go with some bright light. Now, it is a very thin-leafed and thin-stemmed plant, so it is a little bit sensitive to like really, really harsh sunlight. So although it wants bright light, it doesn't want to be put in a window that's going to be really, really hot. So it can do like on the lower end of a bright light, or maybe like an east window or a really bright north window would be sufficient for these guys. As far as watering goes, I like to touch the topsoil. You can just come by about every few days or once a week or so and touch that topsoil. And if it's getting dry, like like when a sponge is drying out, you can kind of feel there is some moisture in there, but it's kind of about ready to dry out. That's when I really like to soak it. So whenever that topsoil has dried, is a good time to really soak the plant. They are moisture-loving plants, and they don't want to dry out much, so keep up with that. If you want to add extra humidity, they will definitely appreciate that. It'll help them stay happier and healthier, but it's not totally necessary as long as you have typical household humidity. If it's not around like a wood-burning fireplace that would suck out the humidity, or a dehumidifier even. So yeah, as long as it's typical household humidity, you should be fine as long as proper watering is adhered to. During the spring and the summer months, I like to fertilize this as well, and I would do that just with a regular, well-balanced fertilizer. You could do that even with a granule fertilizer, a slow release, or just a general houseplant fertilizer that is liquid soluble. Something like that will work perfectly fine during the growing season, which again is the spring and summer months for this plant. During the winter months, you can back off on it quite a bit because it's not really growing. You might not see any new growth at all. It's kind of just laying low. If you want to repot, I would do it in the springtime, and I would just go up one pot size, and I would just use 100% houseplant soil. They have pretty good mixtures these days of the houseplant soils, so just use that. It's pretty moisture retentive. Of course, it allows for some draining, which is important, but that's what we really want to do with the Selaginella moss. It is sort of a trailing plant, so you will see it kind of get longer. It will sort of creep down the pot. It's a really, really visually appealing plant. But anyway, that's going to do it for the care instructions for the Selaginella moss. If you have any questions about this plant, let me know in the comment section below, or you can always message me on Tanner the Planter via Facebook or Instagram.